I would now like to introduce Professor Günther-Verheugen. He's a former Vice President of the European Commission and European Commissioner for Enterprise and Industry. Mr. Verheugen has also served as Deputy Foreign Minister in Germany.
Thank you. Madam President, honorable guest speakers, dear friends and supporters of the residents of Camp Ashraf, and unfortunately Camp Liberty as well. I suppose that everybody here will share my feelings that we could think of many, many other more enjoyable opportunities to spend a beautiful spring afternoon in one of the most beautiful cities of Europe, in Paris, than to attend a political rally. But as that we cannot celebrate and cannot enjoy ourselves this afternoon, it is indispensable that we raise our voice again and again and tell the rest of the world what is happening in Iraq, what is happening on the ground, what is happening with the people of Camp Ashraf. I was asked by a German journalist a couple of days ago why we are doing this. And they believed, this is a pointless exercise. My friends, standing up for and defending the freedom, the rights and the dignity of other human beings is never a pointless exercise. It makes us human. That the many meetings we have already organized and the many meetings I have taken part, they have also a very specific meaning and a very specific effect. We put a spotlight on the scene in Iran and Iraq. We put a spotlight on the scene on the ground, and we make the world watching what is happening. And the effect is that a government in Iraq and the mullahs in Iran cannot hide what they are doing. The least that we have achieved is, and we have achieved that, is that it will be very difficult for them to repeat the crime, terrible crime that we have seen on the video a couple of minutes ago. It will be difficult for them to repeat that. Therefore, it is important to remain vigilant and to repeat and repeat what we have to say, to repeat and repeat what we have witnessed. It is a kind of protection, and a very important protection for those who are still in Camp Ashraf or those who are already in Camp Liberty. I sincerely believe that without these manifestations and without your participation and your strong commitment, our friends there probably would be already dead. Now, it's not only about raising awareness, it is also about putting pressure. Pressure on the decision makers everywhere, the United Nations, the United States, the European Union. I feel competent to say some words about the policy of the European Union and the member states of the European Union. 27 member states representing 500 million citizens. As a European, I can only say I feel ashamed. I feel deeply ashamed The EU member states, the governments of the member states and EU institutions avoid carefully clear statements, and they avoid carefully clear commitments. They are dragging their feet. It is true what they are saying. They do not run Iraq, but they can say, if you, the government of Iraq, if you do not stop to violate permanently the human rights of the people of Camp Ashraf, we will immediately stop to support you. Yeah? Not a single euro, not a single euro from Europe's taxpayers' money should go to such a regime. I really wonder why the EU leaders are so lenient. Europe is proud being the birthplace of the whole idea of human rights. This idea of human rights spread from Europe to other parts of the world, beginning with the United States. That's the reason why I believe that we have a much stronger obligation to defend human rights, because it is our own heritage. So based on that, let us tell the European leaders again, the PMOI is not a terrorist organization. They are the democratic alternative, the only existing democratic alternative to the regime in Iran. The mullahs are going after the PMOI because for them, a tolerant and democratic Islam is the most dangerous threat. That's the reason why they want to get rid of you. The relocation from Camp Ashraf is not a comfortable resettlement. It is a forced removal. And Camp Liberty is not a kind of waiting room where you stay for a short while before you continue your travel to your final destination. We have already heard that several times. It has all the elements of a prison. Conditions in Camp Liberty do not meet international standards, and the people there have no other places to go. Their freedom, their security, and their dignity is taken away from them, and their future is totally uncertain, and I wonder whether they do have a future at all, because so far we have only a few commitments from the international community to accept people from Camp Ashraf in their countries. And therefore, I must really ask, are we asking too much if we ask the EU leaders, the heads of state and government of 27 European nations, at least to discuss and to deal with the issue? If they spend days and days and nights to rescue European banks and financial institutions and investors, do we ask too much if we ask them to spend at least 30 minutes to deal with the destiny of the people of Camp Ashraf? Is that asked too much? I don't think so. Do we ask too much if we expect from them at least a humanitarian gesture? The only reason which I can see why EU leaders are so passive is that they still do not want to upset Tehran. And here I can only join those who say, you cannot negotiate this regime away. You can't. The only possibility that we have is that the people of Iran themselves overcome the mullah regime. And what we have to do, what is our role? Our role is certainly not to please the mullahs. Our role is to support those who represent a free and democratic Iran.